my swim time. Gonna bust up your behind. This is my swim time. Gonna mess up your whole mind. This is my swim time. Gonna bust up your behind. This is my swim time. Gonna mess up your whole mind.
Welcome to Work the Left Side. I am hyped to announce tonight's guest. I've seen him at Planet Wrestle. I've seen him at Blackheart. It is the teacher who he likes to discipline. We'll put it in a nice way, but it is Mr. Rikki. How are we doing, mate? You good?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, dude, as we sort of said, the whole teacher thing, dude, that's one scary ass ruler. Certain people of certain ages maybe getting flashbacks to a misspent youth many years ago. So, but yeah, how are we doing, mate? You good?
Yeah, really good. Thank you very much. Really enjoying the summer holidays at the moment, like off work. So yeah, I'm having a really good time at the moment. Just back off my honeymoon. So yeah, had a really nice time. Just relaxing now still.
Nice, dude. Well, congratulations then, obviously, first and foremost. But yeah, you are back. You're back to the grind. Back to reality. You may have 6 weeks off, from the teaching, but you don't have 6 weeks off from the wrestling. So I'm sure obviously you'll be turning back up in numerous places very soon. Let me get the generic question out of the way first. What made you step through the door? What made you want to start learning to wrestle?
So obviously, I don't know. Obviously, everybody's a massive wrestling fan. You have new shows, so I've watched wrestling since I was a kid, and then I used to work with somebody else. Actually, I used to work with Ivy. Years ago, and I used to go chat to her, and she'd be doing all these shows, and I'd say to her, "Oh man, I come to your show, I come to watch you at EBW or whatever it was at the time, whatever promotion she was doing," and me and my friend would go and watch her, and we'd see her after, and I'd go, "Oh, it's so much fun! It looks amazing." And I'd say to her, "How did you get into it? And I really should do it." And she'd be always like, "Yeah, of course you should. Yeah, you should definitely do it." And then one day I don't know. I think one day I just sort of took a plunge, and I just said to her, "I'm going to do it. Where shall I start? What is there any training schools nearby? What should I do?" So she put me in. Sent me the details to a couple of schools. One of them was PPW. With that one being in Sheffield, I was like, "All right, I'll try that." So then I got in touch, put the feelers out a little bit. It was Liam. Obviously, got in touch that with me, and I just thought, I think if I was going to try it, I had to try it at the age I was. And I had very, very small incremental steps, what I wanted to do. And I kind of just wanted to go down and just see if it was something that I'd be able to do to any degree, really. And just that first session was so much fun. I had such a wonderful time. And it was dead clever as well, because I remember thinking, one of my first steps was to get through a training session, and the first session with Liam I thought was really good, but I thought it was just a taster, and I just needed to do a little bit more. So then it's the beginner session. So then I started the beginner session. So it was just from there, really.
Nice. I mean, in then fairness, again, anybody who knows this channel knows me. Again, no besmirchment meant to any other school. There's loads of really, really, really good schools in the country, but I've got a love for PPW. Hence, I think I've had about 30 people on the show from PPW, kind of thing. It's like my home away from home when it comes to talking to people. So I think, if you're going to hit up any school, if you're going to start at any school, you pick one of the best ones to do it. Obviously, training with Liam as well. is like the top of the hill for me. You know, he's like one of the top 5 coaches in the country, kind of thing. So that's it. It's always nice to hear as well, though. You got into it because you was a fan, kind of thing. You know, you went to shows before getting into wrestling. You know, you had that kind of passion for it, and I was generally shocked when I kind of found out. You know, that, like you said, you're still kind of in your infantry. I can't speak it, mate. Apologies. You're still like basically an infant in the wrestling business. That's what I'm trying to say. I won't get the word out. Because when I've seen you at Planet, it just seems very, very natural. It seems like you've been doing it for ages. You've kind of got that aura about you.
Well, thank you very much for saying that. I do really appreciate it. I don't know what to tell you. I've been training since like 2021 is when I started, like October 2021. When my debut, like at Planet, was, I mean, like you say, but like it seems like I've been doing it for ages. But I remember I was going out there and I'd stood in the ring and had the microphone. I remember looking down the mic and like I was just looking down it and it was just shaking in my hand, just rattling back and forth. And I remember just thinking, oh my goodness, like what am I saying in this promo? But yeah, do you know, like this like PPW, like say the in-house shows and stuff, and the training that they do, it just sets you up to like really well to go out and do those shows. As much as, to be fair, like that particular show, that debut show, I kind of was like pushed into it a little bit. I'll give it a very supportive push into it because I think somebody was injured. For Natalie, it was Felicia, Freaky Felicia, was booked on the show, but she got injured. So there was a spot open. I remember going down to training, and Liam was like, well, "Are you going to Blackheart? Are you going to Planet? Planet? Are you going to do?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm going. I've bought tickets to go. I'm going to go watch it." And he was like, "No, Felicia's injured, so I think there's a spot if you like for you to be on the show." I was like, "Oh well, you know, like Jake's not said anything, so I don't know, it'd be fine." He was like, "You should say something. You should say something." I was like, "Oh no." And then I went training the week after, and Liam was like, "Are you doing it? Are you going to be on Planet? Are you going to be on Planet?" And I was like, "Nah, I don't think so." He's not mentioned anything. And I was like, did not dare look at my Instagram. Every time I got an Instagram notification, I was like petrified it was going to be Jake asking me to be on the show. And then so I said to Liam, was like, "Are you going to be on it?" I was like, "Nah." And Liam just went, "Right, that's it. I'm calling him. I'm messaging him now." And he sent a message to Jake, like saying that I was available. And I think Jake sent a message back, something like, "Yeah, if you can convince him to be on, then we'll have a space for him." And I was like, I didn't know what to say then, because I bought tickets to actually go to the show, and I couldn't be like, "Oh no, sorry, I'm busy now," like which was like what I was like feeling. I was like so nervous, but so yeah, I got like very luckily got that supportive push from Liam and Jake into doing it. So yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. And that's the thing, though, as well, that must be, you know, it's obviously as nervous as you was, you know, it's kind of like second guessing, you know, can I do it? Can I not do it? You know, the fact that Liam is constantly be like, do it. You know, he wouldn't push you to do it if he didn't think you were ready, because obviously he's not going to put you out there, and then if you're not ready, because it makes him look bad, kind of thing. So that would be a huge confidence boost if you can get past the no, I'm not ready. No, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, well, I am my biggest critic really, and I do find it very difficult to sort of see what I'm doing, like be good in what I'm doing. Like I'm very, very, very self-critical. So yeah, I kind of did need, if I was going to do it, I did need somebody to just be like, "You're going to do it, like get on this show," to do it. And Liam and Jake have actually like been like massively supportive and really positive about you know, like what I've done and what I was doing, like in training and stuff like that. So like I was really pleased that I could do something for Jake, because he's been like amazing, like in my training, like really supportive. Like he's done so much for me. So for him, I mean, even him just to like accept me on that show was massive. And then yeah, like Liam as well, like really pushed me to, you know, get better and better, and then to give me that little boost there to get on the show. I'll always like be really appreciative of what they've done for me.
I like say, you know, as much as I'm bigging up Liam and stuff like that, obviously Jake, you know, it's Jake's company. You know, again, he wouldn't let you on there because, you know, you're taking a spot where people have paid money to come see a match. And but like I say, man, you hit the ground running. You know, I mean, you've become, every time I've seen you at Planet Now, you are one of the top guys that gets a reaction, you know, from the crowd, from the kids there. You know, your character resonates, and you've got it down to a point as well. You know, it's such a genuine. Obviously, I'm kind of pulling from a real life kind of, you know, it's like a nightmare kind of thing. But yeah, you kind of, like I say, you resonate with the kids, man. The kids just like, obviously, you know, you're a teacher. It's very easy to hate a teacher kind of thing for kids. But yeah, dude, you just, but it's what the point I'm getting at is it's 100%. You know, we believe that character because just how you get it out there kind of thing. That's important. That believability, you believe what you're doing, so we believe in it as well.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I think that's part of that, why I've been able to sort of, you know, put on the performances, is like, because, you know, I can't remember. It's been said like loads in wrestling. Like you take a character, like a real character, like your real self, and you just turn it up, and that's kind of all I've done. And I think people say all the time, as soon as I see the ruler, like, oh my god, I've not seen one of those in years. Like, is this an actual ruler? I'm like, yeah, it is. I've borrowed it from school, and then, you know, like, so some of the stuff that I say is what I'll say in the classroom, but maybe with a little bit less supportive tone.
Very easy to twist it. So, like, it can go from supportive to just very condescending. You just flip it like that.
Yeah. So yeah, just all those little catchphrases that, you know, what you used to hear all the time. Just throw those in all the time, and like you say, it resonates with a lot of people. Like the kids, when they say it, they're like, oh man, I'm not here to, you know, to behave. I'm here to have a good time. And like you say, a lot of the adults get taken back to the, you know, that teacher who used to shout at them in classroom for, well, when their friend was talking to it in the class, and maybe they got in trouble for it. Like, just trying to be that guy, that teacher, you know, everyone, everybody hated Mr. whatever his name was. I just want to be that teacher.
It's amazing. I don't know, again, obviously this is a really sort of small reference to something, but my kid loves, like, obviously video games, like 6, watches a lot of stuff on YouTube. And there's a game out there called Mr. Baldy, and he's like a maths teacher, and basically he chases you around a school if you get a maths question wrong. And the more questions you get wrong, the faster he gets. But he walks along slapping the ruler. That's the game kind of thing. So as soon as you came out with a ruler, my kid was like, he's got a ruler like Baldy. He's not going to hit me. Oh, mate, no, you're fine.
Well, no, I tell him I'm going to hit him, like, because it just makes it bad, doesn't it? Because I think I made a kid cry once.
Don't get it wrong. Don't get it wrong. Then you're all right.
Yeah. But yeah, I know Mr. Bowley. I had to, like, keep in touch with all these like new little games and stuff like that. And like what you say about getting reaction, one of the things I like try and do is just tap into some of the stuff that the kids are into. So I was doing commentary for the Theomania that PPW put on, you know, a charity show that they did, and it was me and Axel on commentary, and there was like lots of kids obviously in the audience, and I just kept them leaning over the commentary booth and just saying stuff to him like they're doing this little trend at the moment. It's a secret little insult that they're doing, like just rub the cheeks like that, and it's called mewing. And so I leaned over to these kids and I was like, "Hey, you stop mewing, it's disrespectful." And they all just went, "What?"
Yes, that's it. If you know about it, you can use it, and it's cool. But obviously, you need to know about it anyway. Obviously, you need to know what the kids are doing. It comes in so handy.
Yeah. And it was awesome as well, because Posty's coming out and chucking them toys and stuff, and I'm like put those toys away. It's just all really easy stuff to work with.
feeding you the lines. Another thing as well I want to bring up, I don't know if it's intentional, I don't know, because I compared it to Christian Cage in AEW at the minute. Like, ever since Christian went heel, he started wearing the turtleneck, and to me that's just an automatic heat getter. Any man comes out in a turtleneck, man, that dude is getting booed. Even if he's a face, it's like, you cannot be a face in a turtleneck. It doesn't work. Yeah, obviously it's part of the get-up. Was that intentional, or did you just wear it because you thought it looked nice?
So I love Christian, and I love his patriarchy stuff that he's doing in AEW. I think it's so brutal, like coming out and calling people out because of their dads and stuff. But I love it. I kind of always wanted to wear a turtleneck as like a wrestling character. And this is really funny, actually. I'm going back like 15 years probably. And I'm thinking of me and my friend, and we created these characters on SmackDown versus Raw. And we had, we wore turtlenecks on it. I had a red one, he had a grey one, but I had grey trousers and he had red trousers, something like that. That was our tag team. And we just wanted to play into these arrogant sort of heels, is what we were doing. And then I used to want to come out wearing something that made me look like a teacher, like when I started doing it. I think that's why the turtleneck sort of come into it. I've had these turtlenecks in my wardrobe for years and years, always thinking that one day I'm going to wear them as like a wrestler. And then I got the choice. So my original I just used to come out wearing a turtleneck, and I take it off and have I had a black singlet on. But then I sort of looked into it, and especially when Christian started wearing, he was wearing the turtleneck to wrestling. I was like, I should just do that. I should just find a turtleneck. I don't know, something like an athletic sort of fit turtleneck or whatever, like he's got. Because then I don't have to. Because I was like taking off my jacket, and then I'd have my turtleneck on, like an actual. And then I have to take that off, and I was just, I'll just do what Christian's doing, and I'll just wear something similar. So that's why I ended up changing my gear, like sort of. I say changing. I just added the turtleneck to it. So yeah. I wanted to do it all like for ages, and it was looking at Christian. I was like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll be able to do this now. So
you had the thought back in the day, but I wasn't off the mark by saying it was slightly influenced in the modern day by Christian as well. So it's best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Love it, absolutely love it. I was just thinking, because when he started doing it, I was just like, it's such a small little thing. I love the little touches in wrestling, things that, some people might not pick up on, or so, it's not obvious, but when you notice it, it's like, a light bulb moment. Just, the turtleneck. It just gets heat. Like I say, it's such a heel thing to do. It's it makes all the sense in the world. It's like, that's amazing. So, but you mentioned obviously Planet, the match, Natalie Sykes. That got a few eyeballs on YouTube.
It did, didn't it? It's something. Jake just kept on sending me messages every now and again with like an update of how many views it's got. I think it's currently up to like 40-odd thousand. I think 40-odd thousand views. I mean, obviously Natalie Sykes has obviously got a massive fan base because she's all over, isn't she? Like the UK scene, and she's just done that. She's just done that like tour of America as well. She's just been doing those matches over in America, so it must be her fans seeing it, just getting that little clip surely.
That's very modest of you, sir. That's very modest. But yeah, obviously, I know she's from Austin, Texas originally, anyway, isn't she? So yeah, she's been back over there recently, did a tour, came back. But I do like the way that you kind of like, it just gives you ammunition though to be kind of like, you can take credit for that, like you did. I saw you at Planet Show afterwards, and it was all like, no, because of me. Everybody watched it because of me.
Yeah. It was a nice, like you say, a nice little bit of a feeder information for me to use for that next promo at Planet, which was against Estrella Fuchsia Estrella, like that next match. So yeah, it was really nice that I could lean into it, because I said something like, "Oh, if it gets over 13,000 views," because it was at 10,000, I think, at the time, or it might have been less than that. I think I said if it gets more, then I'll apologise to all the fans at Planet Wrestle, but then I just like laid into them for being ugly or something and like uneducated. So yeah, it was great, lovely little bit of ammunition.
That's why it's one of the reasons as well. Like seeing you cut the promos, at Planet. That's why again, infancy. That's the word I was struggling to say earlier. That's why I kind of found it hard to believe. You're still in the infancy stages of, because somebody that new doesn't normally get to cut promos or do stuff like that much in the early days. That kind of comes when you've got the in-ring confidence down. You then get confidence with your promos. But yeah, like I say, you were coming out cutting promos like it was second nature.
I suppose part of it is like actually being a teacher. I had to talk in front of a live audience every day, and trying to engage a disengaged class sometimes. Like every day, I sort of get paid to talk in front of a bunch of people. And I remember talking to Nathan Black once when I was at training, and I was talking about a switch, and he was talking about the red light goes on, and it was the same thing. Because being a teacher is something I just had to build into my psyche, that when it's time for me to be in front of people and speak, I've got to flip the switch, and I've got to be in performance mode. Because as a teacher, sometimes I'll go in and I might be tired, I might be stressed, I might be really upset about something that's happened, or there might have been something that's gone wrong and I'm worried about it. But then that math lesson starts and I've just got to go, here we go, and I'm like, yeah, fractions, guys, let's talk about this. And I suppose what I did at Planet and Blackheart when I did the promos was do that. I had to go, because when my debut with against Natalie, Jake said to me, "Oh, so he was like, so talking to me about the day, and he said, so you'll do a promo." And I was like, do a promo? And he was like, yeah, is that not your stick? You do a promo and then like wrestle a match. I was like, and he was like, you don't have to. I was like, no, I'll it's fine. I'll do it. Yeah. So yeah, I just went and came out, flipped the switch, and just started, like telling the crowd off, and that's what I did at the show after, and the show after as well. And I'm not quite sure like why Blackheart asked me to do it. I'm not sure if it's just because like maybe whether they'd just seen what I'd done at that show, or whether just people do like just sort of word of mouth sort of thing. But yeah, they asked me to do it there as well. So
I have a theory, obviously, with Blackheart, and again, anybody who knows the show, I mentioned it, before we hit record. I love Blackheart. I'll big them up. I'll try and I hype up the weekly YouTube channels and stuff, shows. Obviously, the thing is with Blackheart, I think why it's so cool is it's kind of half Temple Wrestle Island school people and like half Pursuit kind of thing. It's kind of like an amalgamation of these like two schools and like the best of the best coming together kind of thing. Obviously, you mentioned Ellis. I know Ellis works very closely with Blackheart. So obviously, Ellis knows you from Pursuit. So, if at any point James or Lawrence or anyone's like, right, we need somebody for this kind of a role, dude, and you can, they can cut a promo, Ellis would have been like, yeah, Rikki.
Maybe. Like again,
I'm theorying. I'm theorying. I'm not saying that's the fact, but that's how I would see it in my head. The kind of like, obviously, they've got the story arc with Gung Ho Muttley, where it's kind of very obviously school based. The academy, the kind of thing that fit previously. I think before you were even there, kind of thing. But you fit into the academy mold perfectly. So if they're thinking about that storyline, they're like, right, is there anybody out there that fits? Oh hell yeah, we got a teacher at Pursuit.
Yeah, I really love that about Blackheart. The planning and forward thinking about people, and them considering the character and how the character fits in with the other people who are going down to Blackheart and being on the shows that week in. Like for the weekly show that they do and for the monthly shows. I think it's just I thought it was a really, I was dead grateful that they even considered me further down the line. And I just sort of expect to, if I can make it, they'll if I'm around, they'll like see if I want to be on or see if I'm available, and if they want someone, they can put me on. So I thought I was really appreciative that they thought about me as something they can build into storylines and stuff. I wasn't really ready for it, to be honest. But yeah, it was really nice that they do that.
Okay, it just fits perfectly, and obviously at the minute, there's still time, for you to come back, kind of thing. Because obviously, it's MT2, Creed, Tropical Joe. Gung Ho's having to go through those guys, but I can just kind of imagine if again, I don't know, I'm fantasy bookings, it's what I do. I enjoy wrestling. I tend to be like, I can just imagine you behind the scenes pulling the strings for all these guys, and at some point, you're going to come out and be like, Muttley, it was me all along. You are the power, the greater power.
Well, we need to find out who put in the Ofsted complaint about me, which got me off Blackheart. It's like, well, I can't be on it because somebody put in an Ofsted complaint about me. So that's what's happening on the show. Somebody there has put a complaint in, so I had to find out who put that complaint in.
Get the ruler.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Fingers crossed. Obviously, you can come back, and so I just think that's. Again, for the character, I think with Blackheart, it's a weird line with Blackheart because they've got some amazing wrestlers there. They can go out and do a 20 to 30-minute match, but when you're watching the YouTube stuff, it's the characters more than the wrestling that gets over, kind of thing. It's the Mr. Again, nobody's mentioned everybody on the roster can work. I'm not saying nobody can work. Everybody can work, but it's the people with the larger than life characters that tend to get the reactions. Which is where Mr. Rikki fits in. Gung Ho Muttley is like over like Rover, for God's sake, kind of thing. Heavy Winter, all those guys. So yeah, hopefully you get back there, dudes, because I just think it's a perfect fit.
Yeah, I'm really, really hoping I can get back there as well. And like you say, that there's so much experience as well. When I went down for the first show, I was like chatting to some of the people there, and I was like, we've got like so many matches under the belts, and I'm like, they're like, oh, I've done like 3 now, like in front of an audience, and they're like hundreds and stuff.
Well, you've got 40,000 views on YouTube.
That's correct. That's it.
Dude, wear that badge, man. Wear that badge. Very fine. I'm just going to rewind for a minute. You've said I didn't actually know what you taught before, but you say you teach maths. You are Mr. Boldy. You are Boldy's basic mathematics.
Well, I'm a primary school teacher, so I teach everything. So I think
Okay.
but that's kind of like what I sort of say, like when is that why I'm a good wrestler, because I have to be good at everything. So I'm better at you at everything. That's kind of like what I'm thinking about when I'm in the ring. Like, I'm smarter than you because I have to be smarter than you, and I will show you that I'm smarter than you, so that you understand and listen to what I've got to tell you, sort of thing. So so any aspect of education, I'll is what I'm doing.
Oh, so that's quality. But like I said, it's just something you can work into it. It fits the mold perfectly, kind of thing, and it gives you that kind of. You can turn it up to 11 or 12 and just get that cockiness, that condescendingness, that kind of it's a superiority kind of thing where you're like, yep, no, I'm better than you. I know I am because I'm smarter, basically. So, but obviously, then when you first got into the whole, was the teacher thing, the character from day one when you first started at Pursuit? Did you go in there being obviously like, look, I'm going to learn the basics. I need to learn the foundation. But when I'm up and running, I've got a character in mind. Bang, this is it.
Definitely wanted to make sure that I had the basics. I'm very much respectful of what effort goes into being a wrestler and what people do and how hard people have to work to be really good at the art of wrestling. Really, like, there's so much work that needs to go into it, and I just wanted to go in and just be. When I was with somebody else in the ring, I just wanted to be safe. As like the foremost of my mind was making sure that other people were safe. So I didn't think about the character very much for a while, even though people were suggesting, you're a teacher, you should be doing the teacher thing. But when I started, I was like, I just want to make sure that if I body slam someone, they land safely. But then as I started going through the training, and then there was like aspects in the training which was like it needed to rely more on what the character's motivation was like in the match, and the dynamic of the match. So then really it was, I'm just gonna be a teacher, because it was so easy for me just to turn it up and just, right, I'm going to be an arrogant, condescending heel teacher. It was really easy. I think originally, as I was exploring moves and things, I kind of wanted to be, I kind of wanted to show what I could do as a wrestler. And some of the things I was doing lent themselves more to doing like somebody more like a face, some of the moves, but just stopped doing them. It's much easier for me to be a heel, I think.
That's it. I mean, there's always, I've spent, again, there's a time and a place. I know a lot of people kind of have got this kind of divide when people come to this kind of thing. You sort of say, I know the old school mentality is, heels don't do moves to pop audiences kind of thing. They keep it slow, they keep it methodical, blah blah blah. They let the face get the pop, they let the face get the comeback, pop kind of thing. Whereas other people are just like, sorry, just do what we want to do when we want to do it, and people react, they react kind of thing. But I think the teacher character, that just fits the slow and methodical for me. That suits the old school style.
Yeah, I kind of just when I started, I just thought, do you know what? I'll just be in a tag team, and I'll just come out and I'll just run the crowd down and just say all like a bunch of teacher stuff, and then I'll have a teaching assistant who will do all the match and do all the moves, and I'll just come in and do a move here and there and get the pin or something like that, or I'll just come in, run the crowd down, and then somebody like Kemper will come out and just and just like power bomb me, and then that'll be it, and everybody will boo and everybody will cheer, and I was like, that'd be ideal. That's kind of like all I was setting up for at the beginning. So yeah, I think the way of the way the characters like sort of like taking me is to have that sort of annoying sort of I'm going to be better than you, but actually I think it's really important that my character gets, you know, shown up and gets ends up arse over tit and gets put in his place, sort of thing. And I think that's what people enjoy seeing. I think people enjoy seeing me get beat up.
Definitely, like I say, especially to wear at Planet and stuff like that. I love the idea of a tag team. I love the idea of you having like a teacher's assistant, and like I say, just making them do all the work, and then you just come in and get the one. Like I say, come in every now and again, grab the mic, berate the fans, leave, come back in and just get the 1, 2, 3. That'd be amazing. I can just imagine that. You know, but I think you're onto a golden idea there with a tag team like that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and it'd be really safe for me as well.
You have to think of a name for it, but just having like, you know, be Mr. Rikki and his teaching assistant.
yeah, and they don't have a name. I just call them my teaching assistant, and that's it. And then, you know, also it sets it up really well, doesn't it? Because I'll be really mean and horrible and condescending to my teaching assistant until the point when they snap, and then boom, they turn on me, and the crowd loves it, and then they go on and become the world champion.
That's it, man. You could be the guy that makes the next baby face, you know, the face of a promotion kind of thing. Like, we're laughing about it, dude, but you know what I mean? I can honestly see, you know, if a promotion ever did that, I'd just be like, you know, if I ever go to a Planet Wrestle show now and you come out with a team assistant, I'm just going to be like, yes.
It's I think to be fair, the character's got a lot of depth and scope for storylines like that. There's a lot of other characters it can play for easily, and you know, even if there is that time when people are enjoying the characters, you know, like it tends to happen, doesn't it? Sometimes people enjoy, you know, like the heel to a point where they start, like, you know, like MJF, like in AEW is a really good example. Like, just horrible, but like character-wise, but then everybody like starts loving him. You know, if he got to that point, I think the character then it's not too difficult to make him more, you know, like keep the character the same, but you know, push him into that, you know, like more kid friendly, because you know, you just come out, eat some stickers, and I'm like, hey, look at you, well done, like here's a sticker for you. Oh, awesome! Like, oh, you can have the prize box for being a good kid and stuff like that. So
coming out with like grade report, grade cards, and just giving all the kids an A or something. And just
like well done, kids. I mean, you just do all the same stuff, but to like an established bad guy, and just be like, oh, you're an idiot because you can't spell and stuff like that. And then the crowd will love seeing like a bad guy not being able to spell like easy words and stuff like that. It's just, so I think there's a good scope for the character, really.
I think, yeah, like I said, you know, obviously you've got the heel thing down to on point at the moment, but obviously, you know, especially after being based where we're based, you know, as your radius of bookings starts to grow, kind of thing. Who's to say you can't turn up in a new promotion and do it face kind of thing? It's like, okay. Or, you know, like so I said, if you're in a promotion long enough, yeah, you kind of get that Orton, MJF, you know, you kind of like the heel that everybody's kind of like, you know what, he's ours now. We like him kind of thing. You know, he might be a heel, but he's ours, so we're going to cheer him. So then you can come out and say, you know, a face. You can hit the baddie with the ruler, bam, face.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Just. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how like you know what happens with, you know, like bookings and stuff like that. Like again, I'm very like I plan it because Jake likes me, and I've like made a little bit of an inroad with Blackheart and stuff like that. So like, yeah, I think you know, if anybody else ever tries to book me, you know, I'm always like really shocked when Jake's like, do you want to come and do another show? I'm like, are you sure? Like, of course, I'd love to. Thanks very much. And like the match against like Jack Bandicoot, and when he said I was gonna be against Jack Bandicoot, and I was like, what? Are you sure? It's like, surely not. Like it's just me. You know what you're talking about. And he was like, no, I like to be really good. And I was like, yeah, but it's like what I've had with all my matches, really. Like I'm just really grateful that anybody's like actually willing to work with me, because again, I think I'm really new, and I think people have probably got like higher aspirations and going against Mr. Rikki in their like in their matches and stuff. But you know, like if anybody like when I know it was a late standing for Natalie, but like I was just like, I mean, is she all right with this? Is what I always say to Jake whenever he says like, "Oh, you're doing this." I was like, "Are they okay with it? Like, are you sure that they want to actually do it?" Because she, you know, like she doesn't. Like, you know, of course she doesn't have to wrestle me because it's just me. I'm fine. So yeah, I'm still like in that mindset. If anybody has me on the show, I'm like, what? Like. Everybody else must be injured, sort of thing.
Dude, no, mate. I mean, I get where you're coming from, and I know where that kind of obviously there's keeping yourself grounded, and I do get that. But I think don't underestimate, especially at places like Planet, and like I sort of said, you know, at Blackheart with the very character focused. Don't underestimate the appeal to a face of guaranteed cheers over a really gnarly bad guy kind of thing. Because, like, say, Jack is going to come out, Natalie's going to come out, you know, and they're going to get cheered. You know, they're going to, every little thing they do to you, they're going to get a pop, you know. So don't underestimate the appeal of working against a disliked bad guy kind of thing. And that's what you bring to it. Even though, like you say, you won't see it, you won't believe, you know, at whatever stage you're at those shows, you have that heat. So whoever works against you, they're going to look $1 million kind of thing. As a face, they're getting pops.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope, like I say, that's what I want the character to be. The character it should be, and it's like something like Liam's really helped me work on. Is my character should be ending up with egg on his face, and whoever I'm going against should look like really good, and it's always like something I do when my matches. So like with everybody I've been in the ring with, I've always like they always might say to me, "How is it?" Like, after I always go to whoever I've wrestled, and I've always said, how was that? Like, was it all right? Did you think that was fine? Like, did you enjoy it? Was everything okay? Did you get out what you needed out of that match, sort of thing? And I think if the people I've wrestled are happy with the match, then I'm happy. And you can probably ask like Chili and the elusive Mexican Fichardi Estrella and Jack. I'm not sure what I'm like to work with. I know like I'm really nervous beforehand because I'm just saying, is this all right? Are you okay? Like, is that all right with you? And then after, they're like, oh, did you enjoy that? And I'm always like, I don't know. Did you like that? Like, as long as they're happy and they get what they want out of it, then I'm all right.
Dude, it sounds weird as it sounds. Like when I talk to people on here, it's like, so I said to you before, you know, I'll always like hang around afterwards. We'll have a quick chat once I finish recording, and I'm always like, was that all right? Are you okay? Did you do? I'm exactly the same in that kind of sense. It don't matter about me. People don't watch this for me. You know, I'm like, they're watching for you guys. You know, are you happy with what you did? Is everything all right? Do you want me to get rid of anything? You know, I'm just like, yes, everything's fine. Everything's good. Awesome, right? And they'll ask me, "Are you happy with it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fucking, you know, I'm ecstatic. I'm always happy. You know, I'm just quite happy chatting away." So, but yeah, we're talking. You just mentioned after we've mentioned Chili. I just want to shout out Chili. Chili's awesome. We love Chili.
Yeah, Chili's. I love wrestling with Chili. Like we had like the matches we did at Blackheart were amazing. I love I really like hanging out with him. He's just a dead fun guy. like, I just think about some of the matches we've had at PPW before, and I'm always really worried. Like those Blackheart ones, I was dead worried because I was like, he's going to break me, isn't he? In the ring, there's going to be a moment when we do something, and I'm just going to completely lose it. And I remember the match we had when I do the turnbuckle spot. Like I'm like, right, it's time to teach him a lesson 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna go teach him a language, and actually he speaks French, doesn't he? Like fluent French. So I was like, and he was like, I'll turn around and I'll speak French at you. And he turned around in that match like I did it, and he just speaking like fluent French and like kissed me on my hand. I was like, I've just got to move into the next turnbuckle quickly because I'm done.
I love it. That's the thing that it must be so hard, like say, not to, because that's the thing as well, though, like not breaking character, especially like say with somebody like Chile. He's just, I honestly don't have enough good words to say about the guy. He's just he's an awesome human being. He's just like anybody who knows Chile. I've heard nothing but good things about him. And obviously I've had him on here before. So yeah, we love Chile. Well, I want to shout out Chile on here. But I think, but again though, like say at Pursuit, I think you're just surrounded by so many people as well that you can pick their brains out, especially when it comes to character work. You've got so many kind of characters at Pursuit now. If there's anything you want to bounce an idea off of somebody, you've just got so many people there. I imagine it to be a very creative environment.
Pursuit, it's almost like indescribable, like the environment that's set up there. I mean, I started 2021 when I started, so I think it was 1 year, like a few months after that, and to go from what it's starting out as to where they are now, I think is incredible. But like a lot of that is because of all the people that are there. I mean, I did say, I remember after that first match, and even after my first year of training, actually, I remember I was going to put a post on about like on my Instagram, just be like it's been my first year, and I want to just shout out these people. And I thought about it, and I was like, I can't, because I just end up like tagging like hundreds of people. Like there's so many people who like come through those doors and have so much to offer, and I think one of the best things that we've got is this really inclusive environment. So when I went as this, I went as, but when I walked through the door, tubby, out of shape, 30-odd-year-old, and still am to this day that same person, tubby, out of shape, 30-year-old, and there's all these like fantastic athletes and brilliant creative minds that are there, like, and they'll stop and they'll just. I was picturing, an episode of Louis Theroux when he goes to the power. What's it called now? Power plant, WCW power plant, and we just rip him because they think he's not serious about it and stuff like that. And I was like, when I first started going, I was like, oh my goodness, I hope I don't get in that sort of situation. But everybody just stops and goes like, yeah, you're all right, and like you can do this, you can, like, if you need help with this, why don't you try that? And I think some of the people there, and I think everybody's helped. From there. And like, obviously we talk about Liam because he's the trainer, but yeah, I've had matches down there with Chile, and they've been amazing, and like people have stopped and helped me do, make me safer, or make me like look like loads better, sorry, should I say. There's loads. There's too many to shout out for it, for definite. But they've really like lightning in a bottle, I think, that place. And I think what's really good about them as well is that they do work for what helps to improve you. So to get all the other trainers in and all the other people. But I know we like sometimes we'll just say it would be good if you went to another training gym, just so you can get that different idea from somebody else. Because I know I've never been, because I daren't go anywhere else because I'm too anxious to try anywhere else. But like Sticks House of Pain, somebody like mentioned as well. I said I'd go down there. And I was like, oh, I'm not, but like other people will, and all the other gyms and stuff. And yeah,
but you know, Ivy, you could go down there because that's Ivy's house, isn't it? I believe.
Yeah, it's one of the places she recommended me going, but was like PPW was just like a 15-minute drive for me, and I thought I'd rather go somewhere where it's 15 minutes away, because if I don't like it, I'm not spend a time commuting. I also didn't want to. I also didn't want to put any undue pressure on Ivy either. I didn't want to like go into PPW or like House of Pain and be like, oh, I know Ivy, so this is this is what I'm here for, because she don't need that burden of like me like trying to hang on her coattails and like, oh, I'm gonna be so good because I know Ivy, sort of thing. So I don't really mention it to people very often, to be honest. That's like, it was her who like sort of directed me, because I don't want any sort of like preferential treatment. I don't think I would have got it, but do you know what I mean? I just didn't want anybody to.
Yeah. It would have been in your head. It'd have been in your head. You'd have been second guessing stuff, like what I said. But you go to Pursuit, you walk in. There's no pressure. You're just there to do just to see what you can do.
Yeah.
And another good thing as well about only being 15 minutes away is if you didn't like it, if you did like it, it's 15 minutes away. You can go there quite quickly.
Yeah. I think I just wanted to dip my toe in at first and just see what I could get out of it, and then I ended up, like taking the full plunge eventually. And it's 15 minutes away from my house. It's awesome.
You mentioned him earlier. I want to shout out. I know again, I'm not picking favourites. I'm not just from people that I've talked to, on a regular, that I talk to a lot. And you mentioned him earlier, doing commentary with him at Theomania. Axel, again, somebody who's just creative. He's just wired to come up with ideas. I've had him on the show before, and he sort of said, he's got freaking hundreds of pages everywhere of just ideas, for the next 10 years for Axel, kind of thing. It's just always like, oh, if I could do this, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. So I can imagine him being somebody that's very cool to bounce off of.
Absolutely, yeah. Again, like down there, he's had so many ideas for like Mr. Rikki as well, for the in-house PPW shows and stuff. He had like so many good ideas. But yeah, again, just another, like him and Freaky Felicia, and have loads. I've got loads of support from, loads of ideas from. He would be. I've really enjoyed bouncing off him as well, like in terms of like character wise. Like he was Alex when we were doing the commentary on Theomania, but we've got quite a few similar interests and stuff like that. So like a couple of times we're just trying to, make these little side jokes, little jokes to each other as we like commentate on Theomania. But I really enjoyed that. It was I think it just made for a really good commentary team because of that. So I'd love to do it again if there's an opportunity to do it again with Alex. That'd be amazing. I think he would be really good against Mr. Rikki as well, Axel the Clown, because I've already already sort of keep on whenever I'm doing commentary, because I've done commentary a few times for like a PPW show or something, and when he comes down as Axel the Clown, I always act like as if I'm terrified of him and like to keep him away, because he's like he's a literal clown, isn't he? And Mr. Rikki can't handle that. I can't handle that much chaos and disobedience.
That's it. I was just thinking. I was literally about. I was going to say once you finish the sentence, like I would love to see, like, I don't know, the freak show try and recruit Mr. Rikki, or just vice versa. Mr. Rikki just be like, look, stop with the circus life. Go back to school.
Yeah, I think just getting him and just going, speak properly, enunciate, stand up straight. Like, what is this dreadful attire that you're wearing? You need to look smart in my classroom, that sort of thing. I think it'd be really fun.
I've just got images of Axel and Freaky just like in a classroom, just writing like 100 lines on a chalkboard or something because they've been naughty. Just something like that. Just like, oh.
Yeah, they're really good.
It's just like I say. It's just, I think that's the thing as well, especially when you've got. And that's why I've said this 100 times. That's why I'm so happy to see characters back in wrestling. They kind of went away for a while, and everybody just wanted to be, themselves, doing flippy stuff, kind of stuff. And then over the last few years, characters have come back, and it's kind of like, as a fan, I'm just like, it's easier to invest in a story. It's easier to invest in a match when there's characters involved, because you know what to expect. Be it good guy or be it bad guy, you know what that character brings to the show. I just think, to me, it's awesome. I just love seeing characters back, and that's why I think I like, the Mr. Rikki so much. He fits that mold, right? I see you on a poster, right? I know what I'm getting.
Yeah, I think it's really important to find where you fit in. I think it was a really good piece of advice Liam told me very early on, is having a character and understanding where they fit into a show. And I think for some people, fit in because they are like the best wrestlers, and that's what they should be. They should be on the top of the card. And there's loads of guys who I've seen at PPW, and I'm like if I was booking a show, like these guys would be at the top of the card, because like these are the guys when you've warmed up and the crowd are invested, like watching these do their like fantastic athletic moves and like showcase wrestling would be amazing. But then there's I was always very much thinking that my place on the card would be early. Just to maybe get like the crowd, like get some crowd reaction, something like that. Just like a little foundation so that other people can really put on a performance. So I think finding your place in the show is really important. I always think about that. What Liam told me. I think it's really important.
Yeah, no, and it's right. And I think again, from speaking to two promotions and stuff, I never really thought about it until somebody pointed it out, that it just seems really obvious that, when people book a show, there's two ways you can go with your opening match. You can either just go nuts, balls to the wall kind of thing, and just have just set the bar very high for everybody else to follow. Or what some promoters do is they will have a very clear good guy versus a very clear bad guy. So it kind of sets the audience up. It teaches them how to react to stuff. It teaches them who to boo and who to cheer, kind of thing. And that's where, you've got a character that is such an out-and-out heel. If you're in that first match kind of thing, you're teaching the audience, right, you boo the bad guy. That's what you do.
Yeah, I think at Planet, I think Jake's really good at that. I think the way Jake puts together a show's really intelligent. And there's two halves as well, isn't it? You got to think about what's going to go in the first half and what's going in the second half, because if you've got three people who are going to cut a promo in the first three matches, you might not get that balance right. But I think the way that Jake looks at who he's got and where he's going to put things is he does that in a very intelligent way, I think. And that I think the Planet shows really flow really well. And I when I go and watch him, when I used to go and watch him, I always just always had the best time watching him and seeing you know, like seeing those ups and downs in a show, like the moments what make you like wow, and the moments what make you laugh and things like that. And I think he can book that really well.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think it's kind of, yeah, I fully agree. I think Planet do it awesome. You know, I think a lot of promotions that I'm lucky enough to go to kind of got the thing on the pulse for that kind of sort of stuff. But yeah, it kind of seems to be like, you know, I'm always interested in how people book shows as well, not just the matches. I'm always interested in like the, you know, the psychology, the pacing of a show, what match goes where. Yeah, it kind of interests me sometimes because I say it varies. There's no right answer. There's a few wrong answers, but I think there's not just one way to do it. There's numerous ways to do it, and a lot of ways work. So I'm always kind of, yeah, I think it's just me being a fan. I'm just kind of geeking out, you know, just the little things that make a difference in shows.
Yeah, I'm the same. I just like geeking out still. If anybody ever asked like me like wrestling opinions, I'm always a bit like, I'm a fan, mate. Like I'm not really, I don't really consider myself to be like in the community as such. Yeah, like I'm kind of like the guy who like be sat on the front row like clapping when like Jay Virgo does like some like a tope suicida and things like that. And I'm like, even when I've been at shows, like when I've been at a Planet show, I remember watching. I think I'd wrestled. I think it might have been the one against Jack Bandicoot, but then I came out later to watch the show. I was sat with my friend, and I was just like, it was Gentleman Jim versus Liam, and he had the big scissors, and I was just like, yeah, so I just enjoy watching. I just get swept up in it still.
Dude, that's awesome, and that's cool because that, you know, I mean, it just goes to show, you know, you still got that. As long as you're enjoying it as a fan, you'll enjoy doing it as well, kind of thing. I think it translates kind of. It just makes it feel more genuine. You've got that passion there. I've got to ask this quickly because whilst I've got you, actually, I'll let you go soon. Sorry, I'll just clock the time. I am curious because we talked about working face and working heel. So when you are based with your character, obviously, you know, your character is there to put the good guy over, to make the face look really good, as you sort of said, to end up with egg on your face by the end of it, kind of thing. So you're not going to get too much. You'll get a fence in, but you're very much, you know, all about the bumping and the selling to make the face look good. So do you kind of concentrate on that more in training? Then do you just like bump your arse off in training, just kind of get the psychology down to it? Does that make sense? Like, I think I've worded it badly, but I hope you know what.
No, I do understand. I just I think in training, I think I always want to try my finishing move. I think that's like I've never really got it down. I think I'm never going to get to do it in a match, so I'll do it at training. So I think I work on my finishing move a lot more than I should do. But I hammer the Wednesday night fundamentals at PPW because I just think it's for me. Well, I think for everybody, it's so important, like to be doing the fundamentals, and again because I consider myself to be in the infancy of wrestling. I've got to go and do the fundamental classes. And if I've just got to make sure that my ring positioning's right. I've got to make sure that I'm taking the bumps right, and you know, like getting strikes right or whatever. I think I've got to do those fundamentals. That's what I work on massively. That's what I've got to do. But I do, when it comes to, if I get a choice, I've got to think about like how my, you know, like my character would be in a match against another person, what the dynamic would be, and I've got to be ready to take those. So like I know like when I was wrestling Fuchara the Estrella, when I went training, I was like, I need to practice like head scissors and taking the head scissors and hurricane ranas and taking hurricane ranas and things. So I do consider like who I'll be up against, but for me it's all about the fundamentals. I've got to work on my ring positioning. I've got to work on making sure my suplex and my body slam looks good, because I think for me, if I'm not doing those things right at the beginning of a match, then anything else I do isn't gonna work. And they're the things, because they're the moves I'll be doing more often. Like you say, I'm going to be taking bumps off, like bigger bumps from the like the better moves that the other characters will be doing. So, but yeah, I think I'm all about the fundamentals.
Dude, that's a good answer. I'll take that. Right, so I like the fact, that you did obviously mention, like depending on who you're going to be working, yeah, you kind of look into like you say, taking a hurricane rana, taking a head scissors, kind of like getting a feel for it and be like, okay. So again, that just all makes perfect sense to me. It's always something I've always thought, but I've never really asked. But it just kind of felt right in this conversation to kind of be like, actually, you know what? While I've got you, I'll ask you that. So, but dude, like I say, I've just put the time. That has flown by, mate. I apologise. We've gone over the hour. But thank you so much for taking the time out, to talk. It's been a genuine pleasure, dude. Like I said, time's just flown by.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having me on. I really appreciate it. I think it's, like I say, just enjoy talk about wrestling. To be honest, I will say though, just got to get this in. PPW, Second Pursuit, September 14th. I'm going to plug that because I'm hoping because I did commentary for First Pursuit, so hopefully I'll be on commentary for Second Pursuit as well. But regardless, I'll be there watching it, and there's been a couple of matches announced already. Will Cruz, Will and BA Rose, Will Cruz taking on, is it Hustle Gym as well. So yeah, that's gonna be amazing. So I'm plugging that in now for Nathan. Thanks. Cheers, Nathan.
Dude, I will be hyping the crap out of it on Twitter and stuff as well. I already shared something the other day about it. Every time they make an announcement, I've just got the okay from my other half, so we can go watch it. So I'm like, yes, right. I get paid next week. I'm buying tickets.
Yeah.
I missed the first one, and I was legit. You can ask anyone that I know from from Pursuit. I was legitimately devastated. I was like, I can't believe I missed like the first show that they're doing properly, and I can't be there. So I was like, right, it's not happening again. I'm going to be there. It's 2 matches in. It looks awesome. That's the thing as well. I just quick notice. I love the kind of interaction between Pursuit and the other schools, like say Hustle. When PPW invaded Atomic. Just little things like that. So cool.
I remember watching I was doing commentary for First Pursuit, and I had like loads of notes. Like I did like a book full of notes for all the people coming from all the other, all the international guys who'd come over, like Red Scorpion and Nico and everybody, and all the people like Kessler. I had all my notes ready to talk about them. The first match, and it's that 4-way, and I just remember just staring and just watching the match and just being in awe and just thinking, I have not done a very good job commentating on this match, because I've just been fanboying out watching these guys like chuck themselves around. So I'm hoping that I can be a bit more professional this time and actually call it.
Dude, I cannot fault you. I cannot blame you. It's not the same thing, but an example. I did a watch-long episode. I've already ever done one. I need to start doing a few more. But I did one, and it was Kemper versus Music Man. When Music Man first beat Kemper for the belt. I must have recorded that video about 4 times, because the first 2 times I watched that match, I didn't talk. I was just sat there watching it, and I was like, oh, crap. Totally forgot, right? Start again. Oh, I just kept forgetting to talk. I can't even imagine trying to do commentary. But you do a better job than me. I'll just be sat there like, ooh. I just make random ooh noises during the match. That was it.
Yeah, it was tricky. It was tricky, but
Dude, another quick shout out actually before I got you. I told Jeebus you was coming on the show tonight, and he got genuinely excited. He's a massive people. So Jeebus knows his stuff, dude. He's seen many people and been to many shows. You got a genuine pop out of Jeebus for being on the show tonight. So again, you're doing something right, dude. Start believing in yourself. Have some confidence.
Yeah, well, I really loved when Jeebus did the real me and the Bandicoot match. I was like, oh, well, this is incredible. So yeah, I met him in person. I think when he first did the reel, I think I added it to my stories like Mr. Rikki, and I was like, oh, look at this moron or something, and I had to send him a message from a personal account being like, I'm really sorry, it's not me, it's just the character. And he's like, no, it's all good, and then I met him I met him at the Rise show at Kellam Island as well. He was dead nice to me. He was because I was like, oh hi, it's Mr. Rikki, and he was like, oh yeah, of course. And it was lovely to see him. Lovely to sort of see him in person. And I still don't really expect anyone to know I am, to be honest. So you won't get 40,000 views for this video, I'm afraid.
Oh, dude, I don't care. If I get 2 views, I feel like there's a film quote. Somebody who's like a comic book artist. They sort of say, "Look, if 2 people buy my comic, I feel like John Grisham. If 2 people watch this, I feel like freaking Simon Miller or something. I don't care. I'm happy." So, dude, obviously for you guys, I hope more people watch it because I'm trying to get eyes on you lot, kind of thing. So I'm trying to hype up what you're doing. So hopefully it does get more views. But for me, I'm happy just talking to you guys. So you mentioned Instagram. Where can people find Mr. Rikki on Insta?
It's at Mr.Rikki_ORR. But if you type in at Mr.Rikki_ORR, that's Ofsted rated, is what that stands for. Like the Ofsted rated R superstar is what I was going for.
I like it. That's clever. That's why you're smarter than most people. It's clever.
I like to give credit somewhere else. That was my friend Kieran came up with that one. I can't take over credit for that.
Okay, we'll give Kieran a shout out then. Thank you. But yeah, please, obviously, if you're not following Mr. Rikki, hit him up, see what he's doing. My man Ash over on Insta will obviously upload this and post on Insta when this is on YouTube. Mr. Rikki will be tagged in it. Hit a follow, show some support, and yeah, as the radius expands, you see Mr. Rikki on a show near you, buy a ticket, go and enjoy. Go boo a teacher who doesn't want to boo a teacher. For God's sake, that's worth. That's it. That's worth 10 quid alone. You just got to do it for that. The feeling of warmth. It recharges your soul. But dude, thank you so much, and obviously everybody watching, as always, the generic stuff: hit like, subscribe, share, comment, do everything I always tell you to do, or not tell you, I ask you very nicely to please do it. And we'll see you again very soon. I have Caveira on the show later on in the week from up in Newcastle, Main Event Wrestling. He has just joined the New Age Clique version 2 with Chris Redfro. So yeah, I'll be talking to him very soon. But obviously, this episode, this awesome guest has been Mr. Rikki. Dude, thank you.
No worries. Thanks very much for having me on.
Not a problem. I'll see you all again very soon. See you later.